everyone, it's Jess Markowitz again. Today is May 15, 2015, and I wanted to talk to you. I had two subjects I wanted to talk to you about today. So now I am going to talk to you about the steps that you need to take before your fundraiser, just to make sure that it's going to be successful. Because I've been doing fundraisers for 4 years now, and I've done a lot on all different levels. To be honest with you, I haven't done a huge one yet. My biggest one was for a high school for just a volleyball team. And so I'm not the one to talk to as far as, you know, big, huge levels. But I will tell you, I mean, as far as experience, but I will tell you that you can follow the same steps even for a larger fundraiser, and you actually want to make sure you're following those steps if it's a larger fundraiser, because there's a lot more steps involved and a lot more time to put into it. Now, first of all, if you're considering a fundraiser, congratulations. And it's seriously one of the biggest blessings of your business. It opens up so many doors. It truly represents the core value of generosity in our core values of First NC. And it just really gets your name out there so people know what a kind-hearted person you are, that you really want to help. On a business standpoint, it introduces you to people you never would have been introduced to, introduce your products to them, so you have new clientele, new possible hostesses, and the best part, even, you can find your most amazing consultants, new business partners from fundraisers. And so I have so many people on my team that I've found from my fundraisers, so it's such a blessing, and they're amazing. So okay, a couple things that I just want to go over of things that you want to do before your fundraiser. What you want to do when somebody is asking, you know, do you do fundraisers, or you just want to go into like a store and or like a school and say, hey, I'd like to do a fundraiser for you. You want to have a proposal already ready, okay? And the proposal is something that you want to break down in so they know what you're going to be offering. Now, we all know that once you hit $2,000 in sales in any given month, you get a 5% sales bonus. So that 5% sales bonus is going to be your money that you're going to pay yourself back for all of the expenses that your fundraiser is actually going to take up front. And what those expenses are going to be is like order forms, all of your labels. You're going to have to buy a lot of labels for all the products that you're going to be labeling once you get your fundraiser, your $99 stickers, your fundraising stickers, your thank you stickers. I personally get these from thebooster.com. These say, please like me on Facebook, because on my stickers, I have my Facebook link, my business link. Okay, so then what I do is I put my label down, and then I put like my Facebook sticker right there. So this is because you may never talk to these people. You may never get a hold of them. You want to follow up and hopefully build a relationship. But if you don't, they'll always have your information for down the line if they ever need to contact you. Okay. Some of the things that you're going to be buying is envelopes for their packets. Now, this is why you're going to have to know. You're not going to know how much you're going to buy until you have a meeting. But I'm just going to go over the things that you're going to be needing for your supplies. Warmer of the month. This is an old one, but this just I had on hand. So you want to put whatever's on special that month during your fundraiser. Next month is June, and we're doing the Bring Back My Bar promotion. So if you're doing a fundraiser in June, you'd want those Bring Back My Bar lists in that package, because so you want people to know that they can purchase those extra 20 bars, right? You'll also need a pack or 2 or 3, depending on how many people are going to be participating, of these showcase flyers. Okay, these are everything that's in our catalog. The only thing that's different is that it's actually, everything's like a la carte. There's no combine and saves. The reason why is because we don't want to give people discounts when we're trying to raise money, right? And people understand that. They're going to pay full price, because the more they purchases, the more donation you're going to give, right? And then once they do order, you can call them and let them know that any reorders that you have, I actually have combine and saves. It's going to get you a lot more for your money. But for the excuse me, for the fundraising purposes, we did have everything retail price and individual orders to help with the donation. And it's actually, you know, very, very nicely made. It's very classy looking. I just put one flyer in each package because when you think of any other fundraiser, you only get one flyer, right? Then they just keep it. So you don't have to be going out of your way to packaging. I'll be honest with you, when I first started, I put like 10 of these in each packet. That was so expensive, and I never got them back. There was one amazing coach of a volleyball team, the one I told you, my high school, who, if they didn't use it, she got them all back for me, which was so awesome. But you're not always going to be that lucky. So you want to keep it to a minimum. So that 5% is going to pay you back. You want to make sure you have plenty of business cards that you can put in there so they can pass out to the people that are ordering, right? This is just a tax sheet that I made up. It's an Excel spreadsheet of my taxes in my state, in my area. And so I put one of these in each. So you'll have to just get, run those off. So you're going to need paper and ink for your printer. I put a host and join brochure in every single packet. Make sure they're labeled on the back. And then if you want, it's up to you. You can maybe put a couple of these product lists if people want to take them with them and like, oh, let me take this home and look, and then I'll bring my order back. So say they bring it to their job and they're like, hey, my kid's having a fundraiser. If they want to have something to bring home with them, these are less expensive. You can get 3 tablets of 50 for like $6 or something. I don't remember the exact price, but it's a lot less than putting catalogs in there. And it's good to have your product in people's hands, because even if they don't order from your fundraiser, as long as you label this, they may order later on, which is great. Or they may call you for their own fundraiser, which has happened to me before, which is so awesome. Okay, and then you want to make sure that you have your fundraising. Here, let me open. This is a little package that I make. I give these to my participants. It's like a little thank you for participating. I got it from the dollar store, the package, and I put a little thank you sticker on it. And you'll want to order these from the family store, the thank you cards, so they know how much donation was given, what the fundraiser for, and then all of your contact information on the back, which is so awesome. They come 100 to a stack for fairly cheap. I put that in there. I just ordered like a little the heart of your success is you little sticker, a little bookmark. It's just like a little fun thing for the people that actually went out and sold, which is awesome. I make my own little sample of the month. They're little, and it's a good size from our little mold, so they can use this for a plug-in, and I attach it to my business card. And you want to make sure that you have your label on it so they know what scent it is. And then this is something I just started doing. You may be in your first fundraiser, so don't think this is something you have to do, because I never did it before. I just started doing it this year, and I'm in my 4th year of the business. So what I did is I invested in making a flyer. This is kind of like my I actually don't use the join and host brochure anymore because I just put this. But for now, if you don't have this, you can put this. But this is my story of how I got started. This is buy and host and join information, as well as a thank you for participating. And then there's also a referral program on the back. It has my information and a picture of my husband and I and for our business. So this is something you may want to work towards. You may have the money to do it now. You never know. I believe in the law of attraction. So what I did is I ordered a box of 500. Now, did I know that I was going to get, did I think that I was going to get 500 orders? I was kind of like, that's probably not going to happen. But the way I think of it, if I order 500, I'm going to get more fundraisers and no orders from it. And I did. I've gotten 3 fundraisers booked off of the first fundraiser that I first booked this one off of, just because I know that if you think about it, you visualize it, and you prepare for it, it'll happen. So, and I've found some of my most amazing, wonderful people in my life and in my business because of the fundraiser. So this is something great to have. That if you want, you can make it personal just for any orders. I thought about this after the fact. It says, Dear Fundraising Coordinator and Participant. So after I did, it's great. I use them for my fundraisers, but now I'm going to make it more generic of just, Dear Scentsy Friend or whatever. So this can be put in all my orders. And then I don't have to purchase these anymore, okay? Because this actually breaks down the hostess structure and everything, the buying structure, as well as joining my team. So that's just a little tip that I've done. It's so cute. I've gotten great reviews off of it, and I love it. And if I keep these with me so I can just hand these as kind of like a big business card or just information to give to people, okay? So that is, these are expenses, okay, that you're gonna have to purchase before you even get paid from your fundraiser. So that 5% sales bonus, you have to be willing to front that money. Okay, and your mind is so important. You have to keep positive mindset and just think positive that it's going to benefit. It may not turn out exactly the way you want it to, but somehow it's going to happen. That you're going to get a lead that's going to change your business. It's going to introduce you to somebody that's going to introduce you to 20 new people. That's going to be very solid hostesses for your future, or your next consultant, or your most solid client. So always think positive. And so, you want to also be very focused on the focus of generosity, of you're actually giving, you're helping. And I will tell you, when you give and you help and you show generosity, it comes back tenfold, whether you realize it or not. So focus on the fundraiser of helping this organization or school get as much as they can for this fundraiser, and I promise you it'll benefit in so many ways. Okay, so the proposal is going to show them a breakdown that if they order, or the fundraiser totals between $150 and $1,999, they are going to get 20% of the proceeds, because that's what you get. And make sure they understand that you're actually giving them 100% of your commission, okay? So they know you're not giving them just 20% of your commission. So you're giving them everything that you earn. Then you want to do another breakdown of $2,000 plus is going to get 25% commission. So you're going to want them to go for at least $2,000, at least. So then you know you got that 5% sales bonus. That's not their business. They don't know. It doesn't say anywhere in any paperwork. And you know you're going to get paid back at least. So because this is a business, and even though you're trying to help, you're not trying to, go broke trying to help other people, right? So you have to at least get paid back for that. And then what I always do is I break down how many people have to order a certain amount of product or sell a certain amount of product to get this much donation. So for instance, you want to type it out and say, if 25 people sell $100, so you'd think that would be an easy equation for me right now, but I'm not that good. Okay, so if 25 people sell $100, 25 times 100 is $2,500. See, I knew it was going to be simple. So that's $2,500. So they hit their 2,000. You're gonna be able to donate $625. Okay, simple math, even though it seemed harder for me. Anyways, thank goodness for the calculator. So that is written out so they can see how simple it is. So if they have 25 people participating and they all go for $100, they're going to have a minimum donation of $625. Now, it's so important to find out what they're trying to go for. And so that's when the meeting is very important. You want to come with your proposal already ready with a breakdown of an example, okay, of what they can earn. But when you sit down with them, say, I'd like to sit down and have a meeting with you, find out what your school or organization is doing a fundraiser for, and what dollar amount are you goaling for? What would be your ideal goal? So if they say we're trying to raise, $20,000, you know that they're going to have to sell a lot, right? So let's just break it down to something smaller. They're like, I would like to have a $2,000 donation. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to buy some new equipment for the gym at school, okay? And we need about $2,000 for that. So $8,000 is what they'd have to goal themselves for. So $8,000 in sales divided by 25 people, everybody would have to goal for at least $320. We know how simple that is, right? Well, I've had packets come back of $1,000. I've had $800 packets come back just by one person participating. So this is a very simple goal. And what I usually do is I break down, okay, each person has to sell $320. Then I will give them at the meeting a breakdown of what they would have to goal to sell. Okay, so divided by 60 is 5 combine and save packages of $60. Bam. So you make it very simple. Now, there is, a lot of people use the Cent Circle fundraiser. Now, I am not a fan. I'm not going to lie. A lot of people have success of it. But for me, I want to have the most opportunity for them to buy whatever they want. And there are some items in our catalog that are $50. So if they buy an MLB warmer, they're going to spend $50. And that's $50 towards the sales. So instead of having to rack up all these Cent Circles for $3 to get the same amount for one warmer, I am a big fan of this fundraising flyer, because then if somebody can only afford $3, they're gonna buy a Cent Circle. But if they want to buy a warmer and a 5-6 Scentsy bars or whatever, they can. And I've had $100 orders come back, or more. So I strongly, in my experience, recommend the full fundraiser showcase flyer. If you choose the Cent Circle, more power to you. It's, like I said, other people have had success, but this has just shown higher volume. Okay, so now that you've broken down what they have to do in order to earn that, now they understand. Now they feel more comfortable, okay? Now, say that they say, okay, let's do this. It's very important to have a date at the beginning of the month to start your fundraiser. The reason why is, I knew my phone would ring when I was doing this. Okay, so the reason why is that you want your fundraiser to have at least a week or two, depending on the organization, what they want, to get their packets out, generated, get their sales. Then you want a week to get them back. You want a date that actually says, this is the date of the packets, but I'm going to tell you with experience, there's always straggling orders coming back. People, oh, I forgot my packet. Oh, I still have some orders coming in. Can I wait? So then you have like a window of a week. And then you have that last week of the month to get everything together, deposit your checks, make sure everything clears, and add up all your orders, add up all your money, make sure everything balances out. That takes time. If you have over 100 orders, that is going to take time to make sure everything is accurate, to go through all your order forms and make sure you understand what they wrote, to make sure that everything that's available still, because you might have to go through and have time calling people saying, I'm sorry, this is out of stock right now. Are you okay if it's on back order, or do you want to choose something else? Or it's out of stock completely. Do you want something else for it? So that takes time. So you need a whole week to be able to process of everything, okay? And not be, oh my God, I had everything in before the end of the month, right? So that is why you want to start a fundraiser at the beginning of a month, okay? Because you don't want it to be, you don't want to put you in a bad situation, and you don't want your fundraising people to be in a bad situation. And you don't want the people that are participating to be in a bad situation. They can have, if they need just a couple more days and they're like, ooh, can I give it to you? Yes, absolutely. But you say, but I absolutely have to close this order. I need your order by this date. But you want to always give them that week ahead of time as a deadline so they can start wrapping things up and getting their minds of, oh, I have to turn this in. When you're passing out the packages, you'll see on our fundraiser packet, it has envelopes to this, okay? Now this is what number packet of how many packets are being filled out. Now when you're passing these out, I suggest to have a meeting with the participants. So you're gonna have 2 meetings before the fundraiser's open, okay? And you're going to pass out the package yourself if possible. Now the coordinators may not always go for that, but you can say, well, in my experience, if I pass these out, I can explain what Scentsy is. Now my last fundraiser, myself and my newest business partner, Angel, she and I just realized that she kind of assumed that everybody knew what Scentsy was. So, and I thought she knew them too. So I was kind of like, okay, well, if everybody knows what it is, then we don't need the meeting. And so she just took it basically for granted that she's known Scentsy forever, and that she couldn't even possible, like, who could be living under a rock and not know what Scentsy is, right? I know, me too. That's why I was like, well, but anyways, so we both discovered that a lot of her participants of her fundraiser didn't know what Scentsy was. So some of them didn't participate because they just didn't even know what it was. So we discovered that it's so important to have this business meeting. And in my experience, I have to tell you, when I have the meetings, they've always gone a lot, but they've been a lot more successful. So the meeting is going to go over what Scentsy is, how to sell it, what's the selling points, what the safety points are of the business, of the products, who they can sell it to, give them ideas about going to their neighbors, having their friends and family go online if they live out of state and go on their online website. Now, if it's like a school or you know, it could be a school fundraiser name on the just one, and say like it's just one donation going to one pot. But if it's, say if it's like a sports team and they're trying to raise individual funds for each kid for like their tournaments and their gear and this and that, then you can set up individual fundraisers for like Susie Smith's fundraiser. Okay, then everything that goes in that party or that fundraising link is going to count towards her donation. And then you can break it down per donation of who is getting what. Because here's what happens. When a sports team gets together, there's always going to be those go-getters that come back with $1,000 packet that went out and really wanted to raise money. And then there's people that come back with one order. And is that fair that the donation that this girl raised, like, you know, let's say, you know, $400, and this other person just raised $6, she's going to get, you know, part of that $400? That's not fair, right? And that can cause problems with the sports team. So you want to break it down, and so that if they don't do anything, they don't get any donation. If they work their butts off, they get the donation. So it's fair that way. Okay, so these are things that you need to prepare for. You want to also make sure that, because I told you that it takes time to write out all the packets. It takes time to put, you know, the names of the student, the name of the consultant, the due date, the marked checks payable to, you have to put your name in there. I always recommend highlighting that you take MasterCard, highlighting the order form instructions section so they know. That's time consuming. So what I recommend is do that while you're watching your favorite show. Pass these out to your husband or your kids that are, you know, old enough to do this, and say this is what needs to happen. Labeling all your packets, that takes time. Packaging and labeling all of your join brochures. Everything that goes in this packet has to be labeled. Now, your order forms. The back of your order form has to have your information. I bought one of these little stamps from Office Depot, and it says Just and Miss Markowitz, and it has my information, Scentsy Independent Consultant. I got it approved from Scentsy, and all my information goes stamped on there on the back of the order form. Because if I have to put 100 labels, that's 100 of my labels gone, right? But if I can just refill my stamp, my ink, that's a lot cheaper. So I recommend, if you're going to do fundraisers, to get one of these bad boys. And then it's also time consuming, but so important to put your name where it says consultant, because if they need to contact you, they need to know who you are, right? So it needs to be carbon copied. So when they get the receipt, they're going to get the back page with all your information. But every paper has to have your name, because if they come across the top one that they get, because you're going to give them the order form for delivery that's the yellow page, okay? So you want to try to label as much pages as possible in case they only save the yellow page. So I would stamp that page too, but if you can't, the least you want to do is put your name so they can look you up on Facebook, they can look you up on your website, on Google, whatever, So you've had your meeting. Now you know that 25 people are going to participate. So now you know you need to buy a package of 25 showcases, a pack of 25 envelopes, at least. Now I put 5 to 10 order forms in each order packet because you want at least 10 orders, right? So it depends on how much you can afford. I personally put 10. So if you can only afford 5 each package, if they're doing 25, then only do 5. If they need more, they will contact you. But you never want to shortchange order forms because you don't want to lose out on orders just because of order forms, right? Worst case scenario, you can have them copy order forms, an order form, and just you can make copies later to deliver with, okay? So I've had people do that. I always have a extra set and I give it to the organization. So if anybody's like, hey, I ran out of order forms, they don't have to contact me or try to connect with me. They can go to the school, they can go to the organization and just grab more order forms. But I also let them know that they can contact me at the meeting. Hey, coordinators of the participants, if you ran out of order forms, there's going to be packages in order form in the office, or you can contact me directly. I'll be happy to meet, come and deliver some more order forms. I'd even let them know at the meeting if you feel that you'll be more successful with the testers, let me know. I'll be happy to check out some mini testers to you. Now, I only personally have 5 sets. You may only have 1, so don't offer this if you don't have it. Or you can say I can give you a couple samples of each category and break it up if you feel that's going to be more successful. So just talk to them at the meeting. Find out what they need. Find out what they think that's going to help them, and then you'll be able to provide more materials to make them successful. So now you know what your budget is of what you have to front. If you know that you're not going to be able to front that next week and the beginning of the month starts, then you'll have to suggest the following month. What you can also, which I've had some consultants say they've done, which is a great idea, you can ask the organization if they're willing to front the money for the materials, and then you'll pay them back when you get paid with that 5% sales bonus if you don't have the money to front. That is not a bad thing. That's not something that you should feel bad about asking, because what you're doing is you're giving them your income. So if they're going to get a $1,000 paycheck donation for fronting maybe $50 in supplies, and they're going to get that $50 back, they're normally willing to do that. So it's up to you. Now, something that, back to the packets, you're going to want to, at this meeting, check them out to each person. Have a list of, even just like a piece of paper, a normal, just loose leaf, what are they called? Notebook paper, and have the name, the packet number, their phone number, their email address. Okay, I always ask for a text message somewhere I can text you, and then if they're willing to give you your Facebook name, get as much information as possible. So then for some reason, if you don't have packet number 20 of 25 packets back on the date that you're expected to get them back, you can call Mr. Smith. Hey, Mr. Smith, you're packet number 20 and I don't have yours back. And you don't get a hold of him. Say he left his email. You can email him back. Well, one thing that I do is I always, like a day or two before my deadline, everybody that has emails, I will email them. Hey, everybody, all the participants, I hope you had fun raising money for your kids' fundraiser. Just want to remind you that our deadline to turn in packets are, May 25th, blah, 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 whatever. And if you're going to need more time, please contact me directly, or I absolutely are going to have to close out the party by this date. But I do need the packets back, if possible, by this day to help me with the processing. This kind of reminds them, and then I'll even do one right before. Can't wait to see you guys on Thursday when I'm picking up the packets at practice at this time. So make sure you have a date and time of when you're going to coordinate pickup of the packets with your coordinator when you set up the fundraiser. Don't wait till later, because you may not have time to do it later. You may be booked, so you have to have that scheduled into your calendar when you set up the fundraiser, so you know that that's what you're doing on that day at that time. Okay. One thing that's very important is make sure that you're going to tell your fundraiser coordinator that you're going to need a receipt. When you give your donation, you write their check. First of all, make sure it says in the memo, put marketing expense, because that is how you're going to write it off as a tax deduction for your marketing. Because when you do a fundraiser, you're marketing your business to people you wouldn't have ever met before. So that's why you can turn it into a fundraising marketing expense for your tax write-offs. If you don't do that, you're not going to be able to use it as a tax write-off for your business. So with that receipt, you're also going to make sure that they write in marketing for you and explain that. Say, this is a business for me. I get to write this off for my business expense as long as I use it as a marketing expense. And they're going to be fine with that. Make sure they write the fundraiser, what it's for, the date, the donation of what you put, the check number, everything. Have that stapled to your your copy. Print out a copy of your donation, the breakdown of who got what, and have them sign it with the check number that you're giving, that they received it, and then have a copy for both of you to sign and date, and then you can staple their receipt that they're giving you to your receipt, and they will have a copy of theirs. So this is very important, so you have all your ducks in a row for your business, your write-offs. They know what you donated, why. You can also break down on their online orders in Cindy Sue's fundraiser, and actual orders from the packet. Put packet orders, and then at the bottom it'll say, so total donation is this. So they'll say exactly where. And what I personally do is I print out all online orders so they can see, because most of your people, which I suggest at the meeting to let them know to track their online orders here. Most people will tell them, hey, Cindy, I went online and ordered. Okay, how much did you order? So then they'll know what to expect in their fundraising for online orders. So don't, then they know you're legit, you're honest, you're not trying to pretend like that order didn't come through, and that they're getting all of their donation that they deserve. Okay, so that's enough for now. That's a lot of information. I'm going to have another one of these. My voice is a little tired today, so hopefully that'll get you started on having the meeting, finding out what they need it for, when they are looking to start it, suggesting that it needs to be in the beginning of a month. And unless they're only going to have it for a week long, then you can push it to like the second week to start it. But if they are going to have it for 2 weeks, you have to start at the beginning of the month. That's just a given. You do not want to get yourself in a bad situation. But I hope this helps. Good luck on your fundraisers. Congratulations on being so generous and wanting to do this for your community or your school. It's going to come back around tremendously. And just remember that the people that are out there working their packets, they come back with, at least a couple $100s in orders, have a clientele for their future business. So those are the people that you're going to want to talk to about starting their own business and helping you. Because once you have a certain amount of clientele, you're not going to be able to keep up with everybody with good customer care. So you're going to need their help to keep up with those people. All right, have a sensational day, and until next time, bye-bye.